Welcome everyone to a Rainbow Cup wrap-up. This is of my remote tournament that took place in the Go Stadium Discord. What we're going to do is go through all 4 rounds against these high-ranked players. First off, number 14 in the world needs no introduction. HouseStark93, mostly known for his Rainbow Cup battle in Philadelphia. Let's get right into these battles. Getting hot and sweaty right from the jump. Now, after looking at his team, we decide to lead Quagsire. He does the same thing. We're mudshotting at the same time. Now, we overcharge a little bit. We think that it's going to be an earthquake. We guess correctly. We give him our earthquake, and he also decides to shield. Now, we get to our earthquake before he does because we ended up piggybacking on the last turn, and he thinks it's a stone edge here. So this leaves us in a position where we're going to be able to block him, and now look at all the energy that we end up gaining. We have a full earthquake ready for the next Pokemon that comes out. We see that fortress, and we use that earthquake. So now we're even on shields. We swap out to the Raichu. We let go of that wild charge, which is going to do a nice chunk of damage to him. And he actually gets off a an earthquake here. But now we can end up throwing out our fortress after we wait for the switch timer. And now we have a good amount of stored energy for whatever comes in. So he drops that lantern and we go right into an earthquake. Beautiful. Then on top of that, we're actually able to store a little bit more energy, but it doesn't matter. So awesome round one. We had some really good gameplay there. Reading that back-to-back earthquake from him was clutch, and we used our shields appropriately. Now round two, we throw that Quagsire, and he goes Mantine. So we know this Mantine matchup pretty well. We know that he's going to be using Aerial Ace. We go right into a Stone Edge. He blocks, which is expected. Now we know that he's going to end up going Aerial Ace here. We let it go through. We go back into another Stone Edge. We know that this isn't going to feint him, but he's really close. That Aerial Ace would end up knocking us out. He switches into a Venusaur, which was a great switch on his part, but we do have that Fortress. Now that Fortress is going to farm up so much energy off of this Venusaur. We're not going to use any charge attacks here. We are just going to Bug Bite that sucker down. So look how much energy we have after this. We drop a Rock Tomb here. Whatever's coming in is going to get hit with a Rock Tomb. It's that Mantine. So now we have that Raichu with a shield left. We think that it's going to be an Aerial Ace, and we take an Ice Beam straight to the face. So the good news here is that we have Wild Charge. We're going to try to get back to another one. He gets a Thunderbolt, but we do have that shield. So we're actually going to charge past Wild Charge because, frankly, at this point, I forgot how much health that Mantine had, but we were able to Thunder Shock him for the victory. So we were actually able to beat the number 14th player in the world. He was unbelievable, and thank you for the battles. Round two, we got Coach215, another member of the Go Stadium Battle Discord. Let's see what we got going on. So, we decide to lead Charizard, and we get Fortress. Awesome lead matchup for us. He's going to have to bail out soon. And he bails out to a Venusaur. Very puzzling. Didn't really know, excuse me, if he didn't have another counter in the back for Charizard. But we were actually able to farm up this Venusaur rather well. That Raichu. So I would assume he meant to switch to the Raichu beforehand. But we're going to end up hitting it with a Blast Burn and then escaping to that Venusaur. And we know that one Frenzy Plant from this Venusaur will KO him. And we're able to burn that second shield, which is awesome. So now we're going to end up hitting Fortress with as many frenzy plants as we can since we're switch locked. Not really doing much, but anything helps at this point. Now we know that he has some energy stored, so we're going to have him expend the energy and then fire spin him down. So whatever comes in is going to get hit with a blast burn. That's good night, Raichu. So we were actually able to take round one of round two. Let's see what we got for the second match. So we lead with Venusaur, and he goes Quagsire. Now this was the completely opposite of what happened in our Tewksbury tournament, where we led wrong 70% of the time. But we go right into a Frenzy Plant here, knowing that it's going to one-shot KO him if he doesn't shield. We shield this Earthquake, thinking it's an Earthquake, and it's an Acid Spray. So Acid Spray completely duped us. We were upset that we shielded that, but there's really no time to waste here. Frenzy Plant one-shots that Raichu. We think it's going to be another Acid Spray, so we didn't block that one. But now look, we are down. We have all three Pokemon. He has that Fortress, and we have the perfect Fortress counter in Charizard. So we are able to wrap up round two in straight sets yet again. Let's see what round three has to offer us. Another top tier challenger here, Exile XO. Global rank, as you see there, 327. Another awesome competitor. So round one, after looking at his team, I decided to go Fortress, and we catch the Magcargo. So lucky for us, we have experience with this Magcargo. We've faced it in practice, so we go right into a Rock Tomb here. Now knowing that, we switch into that Azumarill. Have a lot of stored energy here. But man, these Razor Leafs from that Victory Bell are going to absolutely decimate us. We're used to getting to that second Ice Beam when we face Venusaurs, but we are not able to get that. But we do have two shields. So our Fortress is going to be able to resist virtually anything that he throws at us and store energy to pack a wallop on the next Pokemon that comes in. So now we see that Kingdra. Lucky for us, we have that Venusaur. And he's going to go right into a Frenzy Plant to annihilate that Kingdra. Next Pokemon that comes out is that Magcargo, but we still have those two shields. So there is nothing that he's going to be able to do to us. And we end up finishing off game one of round three. So at this point, we are very, very focused. We know that he likes to use that Victory Bell. So now we lead with Fortress yet again, and we catch that Victory Bell. So he switches out to that Kingdra. We decide to stay in, hit that Rock Tomb, and then make a switch to our Kingdra counter. So we know that Dragon moves are not effective against the Azumarill. So we just farm away. Now this is where I got really, really greedy, and I get hit with a Hydro Pump. But our Azumarill is an absolute tank. And now we have a boatload of stored energy here, which is going to be released onto this next Pokemon. We guess it's a Victory Bell, so we go right into an Ice Beam, and we still can't get to that second one. Man, Razor Leaf kicks your butt. We feint it with a Fortress, and luckily both Pokemon take forever to charge. So we are up two shields yet again with our trusty Venusaur. Venusaur gets rid of the Magcargo. And now we have that Victory Bell. And we resist that Razor Leaf. And Sludge Bomb pretty much cleans up the game for us. So as of right now, we just won round three in straight sets. We're now facing the championship round against another awesome competitor, Light in My Eyes. I've sparred with him frequently. Let's get right into the battles here. So I go right in with my Venusaur, and he counters me beautifully with that Charizard. So we store up a little bit of an energy. We get out of there into that Azumarill. Now at this point, we are storing and we're waiting for him to charge, to block. We go right into that Ice Beam. And now we are storing again until he uses that Frenzy Plant. We're going to block it and then use Ice Beam again. Now this is piggybacking 101. We know that his Vine Whip isn't going to feint us, but we are actually able to turn the tides with a little bit of energy here and feint his Venusaur, which counters us. So this is a huge point in the match, because now we have a Pokemon that is able to get off yet another charge move. Should have waited for Play Rough on this one. But instead of being down a Pokemon and him teeing off on us, we're actually able to switch in and use our counters. Frenzy Plant annihilates his Quagsire. The Charizard comes out again, but we're able to Sludge Bomb him. So game 1 of the championship round is all over. So I did see that strategy worked out really well. If you're able to swap in on a Charizard with an Azumarill, you do have the ability to just soak up all that energy and then piggyback on a Venusaur. So round 2, that one we actually ended up throwing away due to lag. His Charizard lagged on the last game, so this is actually going to end up being round 1 here because we replayed it with the same lineup. But as you can see here, this is a different scenario because I didn't have enough energy or health to get off that second Ice Beam, so I didn't piggyback. I just went right for that second Ice Beam, knowing that I wasn't going to be able to piggyback on that second turn. So Frenzy Plant kills us, and we decide to keep that one shield and go right into that Charizard. We decide to shield here because we want to keep Charizard topped up, and with Fire Spins, he switches out into that Quagsire. We hit that Blast Burn, go right into that Venusaur, and lucky for us, that Earthquake does not finish us. But I guess those Mud Shots did. But at this point, we have an absolutely diesel Charizard here. Hit it with a Blast Burn. That feints that Charizard, and then here comes that Venusaur. So, unbelievable tournament so far. So far, we haven't lost a game, but this is going to be our toughest game yet. Game 2 of the final round. We actually get the correct lead this time. He switches into Charizard. We go right into that Azumarill. Now, Azumarill is awesome against Charizard. There's nothing that Charizard can end up doing that's going to end up hitting us for hard damage. And we are just able to store almost up to 2 Ice Beams of energy, while he only gets off 2 Blast Burns. We expect a Venusaur to come out. We know that he has one. There it is. Hit that first Ice Beam, burns a shield, and here comes that second Ice Beam. So Azumarill is an absolute shield buster. He gets a little bit of energy off of us, but we go right into that Charizard. We take this Sludge Bomb because we don't want anything else to end up farming us. But we love Blast Burn against Quagsire here. And then we swap into our Quagsire counter, get the Frenzy Plant. Now look at this. We hit this Sludge Bomb here. Nope, he beats us to it, but we did not use a single shield. And that's the match. This is the first time I've ever swept a tournament. It was an absolutely unbelievable feeling. I thoroughly enjoyed battling all these great participants, especially in the Goal Stadium. We spar all the time with each other, and I was unbelievably proud. And thank everyone for watching.